Early to High Renaissance art. The Renaissance period was from 1400 to 1600. Humanism was an intellectual movement during this time. Scholars, civic leaders, and writers partook in it. Humanism focuses on the restoring of culture and the philosophies of antiquity. Two themes of humanism are classicism and realism. And also, this photo is an example of humanistic art. An artist during this period was Donatello, who was a sculptor from Florence. He was born in 1386 and he died in 1466. Of the works of Donatello, one of his most famous sculptures is the equestrian statue of Gattamelata. The statue itself portrays the Renaissance condottore Erasmo de Narni, who is known as Gattamelata. Critics. Giorgio Verassi, a Renaissance artist and critic, said, "In the multitude of his works, he combined together invention, design, practice, judgment, and every other quality that ever can or should be looked for in a divine genius." And if I were to critique Donatello myself, I would say that in the statue of Gattamelata, the statue is um, the statue the statue must have been very difficult to design, and it must have taken a lot of talent. However, he lacked um, he was the painting was I mean the sculpture was very dull. Um, Mannerism was another art movement during this time, and it was a late Renaissance movement. Mannerism focused on being decorative. It also had extended proportions and a lack of perspective. And as you can see in the photo, the man on the bottom right is much smaller than the other people in the image. And also, he there's not really a thing that you should be looking at, and there's a lack of perspective. An artist during this period was Jacopo Carucci, who was called Pontormo. Pontormo was born in 1494 and died in 1557. He was heavily influenced by Michelangelo, who lived right before him. Also, the person deemed the father of Mannerism is, or sorry, Mannerism was Petrarch. Of the works of Pontormo, the portrait of two friends is one of his most famous. In the portrait, there's a very famous example of his, which is to have twinning poses. Critics. Giorgio Vasari, who also critiqued Donatello, made a biography of Pontormo and also shared his opinions of him in the book. He said that Pontormo was young, melancholy, and lonely, and he also criticized Pontormo on his styles of art. If I were to critique his art, I would say that it's very similar to the art that is around today, in that it's sort of like abstract, as in the photo there was a person who was very small compared to everyone else, and that sort of theme resonates in today's art. And that is it.